athlete who runs the smartest race, and so I like to think that that's gonna be me. So I can't predict what Sunday is gonna be like, but I think I feel good about it.
Yeah, and how has training been going with Alan Culpepper? I understand that he's taken over the Hoka team, and has he made any tweaks to your training plan over the course of this build?
It's actually been more like a collaboration between him and Ben. I think that the template was still what we had before, but then we had some things that were new. So it's been good. We are just slowly transitioning, especially for us, the marathoners. So I haven't completely gotten like training just from him.
How would you compare your fitness, say, like before the Olympic trials, or?
That's a really tough question to answer because I think coming back from having a child, I was running some of the fastest times in this spring, and even in this training cycle, I've read times that I was like, whoa, this is a little scary. And I haven't had the perfect build like I had during the trial, so I honestly don't know where exactly my fitness is, just because there were some times at practice that I'm like, I have never done that before. But then at the same time, it's like I didn't have the consistency that I had, during the Olympic trials. I can't really compare.
What would your ideal conditions be?
50 degrees with no humidity would have been perfect. But you know what? Every athlete gets to go through this, so it is what it is. I guess for me, I am coming from a point of being super grateful because 8 weeks ago, I didn't think I was going to be here. I had a setback, and so the fact that I turned around and I was able to train, I'm just so grateful. And I don't care what the weather is like. It would be nice if it was cooler, but I am just grateful to be here.
Could you talk a little bit about coming back from that setback? Was it a mental part of it the hardest, the physical? Was that tough for you to overcome? You had
I
this.
think the mental part of it was hard just because I came off 2020 with an amazing Olympic trials win, and I had a bright future, and then I had a child, and it was amazing, and then I couldn't finish my race in Tokyo because of my injury. And so to think that I had to pull out of New York last year, and in my mind I was like, I'm going to pull out of New York for the second time. That was really hard. So I'm just really happy that I'm here today. And I'm not just here to show up, I'm actually here to compete. So I'm very happy.
And what's been different about, I'm sure there's so much, but what's been different about, training and going through this cycle with the child and, doing your career as a professional runner with some other, little human depending on you?
It's been very fulfilling. I think that I am the happiest I've ever been. Like I have an amazing little girl, an amazing husband, and it's not just about me anymore. Like I'm trying to do everything I can to set the future for my daughter, and it's just incredible. And she's gonna be here this weekend. I've always dreamed of having my child at the finish line, and she's gonna be here. So it's been really fun, and I can't wait to cross the finish line on Sunday.
Is she 2 now? How old is she?
She's almost 2. She's 2 months away from being 2. Yeah.
It's a good age. I got a 2.5-year-old, so
Yeah.
they're fun,
Good age, yes. Yesterday when we were flying in, she was running on the aisle and just having a good time. And I'm like, sorry guys, sorry. Yeah.
And what was the setback you had?
I had an ankle. One of my ankle bones was swollen. Basically, I had an edema, and it wasn't really it was just from running in a bad posture, and I think my ankle was just jammed, so it wasn't like I didn't get a stress fracture or anything. It was just like a swelling, and my ankle was swollen pretty bad. So we didn't know how bad it was, and we got an MRI, but it's a high risk bone. But we were able to do some work, and it came around.
And you did the 10 mile after that? Or?
I did the 10 mile 2.5 weeks after my break from that, and oh my god, it was hard.
So did you miss like a couple weeks, or?
I missed. So when at the beginning of September I was supposed to do the 20K champs, but because of the injury we decided not to do it, and then I took 2.5 weeks off running, and so I started running, and 2.5 weeks later I was like, can I go do the 10 mile champs? I had no business being in that race. So I think that's a good indication for me. I'm like, I trained for 2.5 weeks and I still ran okay. So
what'd you do for cross training?
For cross training?
Yeah.
So I can't swim because I will sink. So I did a little bit of aqua jogging, I think twice, and then I did some cycling and some elliptical. Yeah. And I didn't really do a lot of it though, because again, like it was my ankle and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to put weight on it.
Right.
So yeah.
And did some of that cross training continue after you got back to running for the 10-mile champs? Like, were you still kind of being careful with the ankle in the last little build for New York?
I probably should have if I was smart enough, but I'm not the smartest athlete. Maybe not. No, I did not. As soon as I was told that I could run, if it's not getting worse, I was like, bye, cross training. So yeah.
Did the forecast change your race plan?
I think mentally, yes. I mean, it's like if you want to perform, you still have to be with the lead pack, and so I think I'm just going to have to do what the group is doing. But I think from a hydration standpoint, yes, I realized that the forecast is not that great, and I'm going to have to be extra to hydrate extra more.
So does that change your nutrition on the course plan, like more salt, more electrolytes? Like, how are you adjusting in that regard?
I think I'm definitely going to make sure that I have more sodium, especially later in the race. And so, yes. And usually, you know, like I would probably take a sip and then throw away my bottle. I think I'm going to have to hold on to it longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got a new logo.
I know.
Looks good.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, it
The
is like it.
pronghorn. I'm like, I want to fly like that. Yeah.
And how's with the new coach? I mean, Ben's still there, but how's it changed been?
It's been good. I will have to say though that I haven't worked with Alan as much as some of the younger athletes. I've mostly like Ben has been in a lot of my workouts, but you know Alan has been to a few of them, and now we have a bigger group sort of. So it's different. I would say that I feel like our team is, there's us, like the older athletes, and then there's the newbies, and then so we're just trying to figure out. Like for me, I'm like, I feel like I just got out of college the other day, but not anymore. So it's a transition. We're getting used to that, and so but I think it's gonna be really good.
Have you thought at all about what the training is going to be like when Steph is retired? I imagine she's still going to be around, but maybe not doing all the hard marathon training with you.
It's just I have, and it was kind of one of the things that made this training, being able to train again with her, so special, because when we trained for the Olympic trials, Steph, Kellen, and I, it was so special, and I was hoping that we get to do that. But thinking about it, I think it almost makes me old. It makes me feel old because it's like Stephanie is retiring and Kellen is going to come back from having a baby, and you never know how that will be. I'm like, I'm going to be the oldest one in the team. But it's just been fun to train with her. And yeah, I told her, like, are you sure you want to retire? Like, you're running so great. I've been trying very hard to keep up with her. So, yeah.
Well, maybe she'll pull a Tom Brady and come back.
Right. I literally told her that 2 days ago. I'm like, Tom Brady came back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should do it.
So that,
She should do it.
right? That would be fun. Yeah.
And what did you say the setback was?
I had an ankle. One of my ankle bones was swollen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So between that and the forecast, is it going to take you a little bit to say, am I comfortable today, or do you go into it thinking?
I think that one thing I have learned is you never know when the next time you're getting to get to a start line healthy is, and so I am going to do everything within my powers to capitalize on everything that I have, and the conditions are not going to be ideal, but so is every athlete. Every athlete is dealing with this, so I think I'm not gonna. I feel like I don't want to hold back. Yeah.
Hey,
But we're smart.
Do you have a goal for Sunday?
I have a wish. I would really like to be on the podium, if I'm being honest. How do I get there? Sunday will determine. I don't know how, but I would really like to be on the podium.
And Emily's just in 218 in Chicago. Does that give you confidence? You're not as intimidated as much by these 217 people, or what do you think of your run?
I think New York City Marathon course is an equalizer. I'm not intimidated by people who've run faster than me. I think it's just who can handle the course better, who can handle the weather better.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.